That's the truth people don't like to admit. Not everyone comes to a place because it feels right. Some of us come because the rent is low, the listing has been up too long, and no one asks too many questions. The real estate ad didn't mention the old school, but you could see it clearly from the bedroom window. 2 stories of brick, sitting at the edge of town like it had been forgotten on purpose. Even from a distance, it felt wrong to look at. Not abandoned exactly, just waiting. The realtor avoided talking about it. When I asked, she smiled too quickly and said, "Oh, that? It's been empty for years." That was all. The house itself was small, older, wood floors that creaked even when you stood still. But it was clean, well kept, almost overly so, like someone had prepared it carefully and then stepped away at the last moment. The first night, I slept poorly. Not because of sounds, because of silence. No traffic, no animals, no wind against the siding. Just a thick, padded quiet that pressed against my ears until I was sure something had to break it. It didn't. The second night was when the note appeared. I found it in the kitchen table when I came home from work. White paper, folded once. My name written neatly on the front, in ink so dark it almost looked wet. I stood there for a long time before opening it. Inside were rules. Not a lot of them. Just enough. Welcome. If you are reading this, the house has accepted you. Please follow these rules carefully. They exist for your safety. If you hear tapping on the windows after sunset, do not look outside. Close the curtains instead. If you hear tapping on the walls, stay where you are until it stops. If you hear tapping on the door, do not answer it, not even once. If the tapping comes in sets of 3, turn off all lights immediately. Do not acknowledge voices that speak from outside the house. Do not sleep facing the window that overlooks the school. These rules are simple. They are important. You will be reminded if necessary. I laughed, actually laughed out loud. I assumed it was some kind of prank, maybe a leftover from the previous tenant. A joke. A weird attempt at atmosphere from the landlord. Still, I kept the paper. Something about it made throwing it away feel rude. That night, I closed the curtains. Not because I believed the note, because the school felt heavier after dark. I was halfway through making dinner when I heard the first tap. Not loud, not aggressive. Just a single, careful sound against the living room window. Tap. I froze. The second tap came a few seconds later. Tap. I moved without thinking, pulled the curtains shut, and stepped back. The third tap never came. I didn't realize I was holding my breath until my chest started to hurt. That was when I noticed the lights flickering. Once, twice, then steady again. I slept on the couch that night, facing away from the window. The next morning, the note was gone. In its place was another sheet of paper. Good. That was all it said. I didn't leave. I told myself that was pride or stubbornness. Looking back, I'm not sure it was entirely my choice. Over the next few weeks, the rules proved themselves. Once, I forgot and glanced toward the window when tapping started. Not directly outside, just toward the glass. The sound stopped immediately. Later that night, I found fingerprints on the outside of the pane. Small. Too many of them. Another time, I turned on the porch light when I heard knocking at the door. 3 taps. Slow, even. The bulb shattered. The note that followed was longer. You were warned. The light makes it notice you. You do not want that. The notes never felt angry. They felt patient, like I was being trained. The entity never raised its voice, never rushed me. It corrected mistakes the way a teacher might. Firm, but calm. As if it understood that learning took time. The tapping became part of my routine. Windows, walls, sometimes the ceiling. Always measured. Always deliberate. Never random. One evening, I broke another rule. I fell asleep facing the window. I don't remember doing it. Just waking up in the middle of the night with my eyes open, staring straight at the dark outline of the school in the distance. The building looked closer. Not physically, just clearer. The taps came from inside the room. 3 of them, right behind my headboard. Tap, tap, tap. A voice followed. Low, calm, almost friendly. You should turn around. I didn't. The voice sighed. Not annoyed, disappointed. The next morning, the note was waiting on my nightstand. We do not repeat ourselves often. Please be more careful. That was when I realized something important. The rules weren't there to protect me from the house. They were there to protect the house from me seeing too much. After that, I followed them perfectly. I learned the patterns. Single taps meant curiosity. Pairs meant warning. 3 meant compliance. The entity seemed pleased. The notes became shorter. Sometimes they included advice. You may hear others. They are not like you. They did not read the rules. I stopped inviting people over. Not because I was afraid for them, because I was afraid of what the house would do if they didn't listen. One night, the tapping didn't stop. It went on for hours. Walls, ceiling, windows. A full conversation in sound. I sat in the dark, lights off, heart steady, waiting. Finally, a new sound joined the tapping. Footsteps, not inside the house, outside, moving toward the school. The next day, the local news reported a missing person, a drifter, no fixed address, last seen near the old building. That night, the note read, "They never read the rules. You are doing very well." I moved out a month later. Not because I wanted to. Because the house stopped leaving notes. The tapping stopped too. That scared me more than anything else. On my last night, as I packed my things, I found the original note tucked into a drawer. At the bottom, in smaller writing I hadn't noticed before, was a final line. You may go. The house will remember you. I live somewhere else now. Far from that town, far from the school. But sometimes, when I turn off the lights at night, I hear it. 3 gentle taps, slow. Careful, patient, not at my door, not yet.